and a department responsible for the security of its candidates.
Yes.
And that's why under the law you have got an electoral constable. Is within the law as an electoral constable.
Yeah.
Of course, the Electoral Commission doesn't have the army of its own.
No.
So it can ask police to provide constables. Now, once they are provided, then they are designated as electoral constables under the Electoral Commission. So there is nothing that would stop the Electoral Commission addressing the candidates, because now the Electoral Commission has no candidates. You get? Assuming the candidates don't qualify.
Yes.
By the even Mr. Museveni may not qualify. Because for you to qualify, it must be 100 signatures and 20 million.
You're saying that as if the Electoral Commission has that independence to be able to
No, I'm analyzing their statement.
Okay.
Yes. So for you to be a candidate, you must pick forms, you must return those forms, you must
verify the signatures.
You must be nominated and seconded. And that's done through forms. As we speak right now, none has.
They just returned the signatures, yes.
Yes, assuming all of them didn't qualify.
You didn't have candidates.
Because none, they haven't announced, at least I have not heard officially that they have announced the
that
following people's signatures have been verified and approved.
No, they haven't yet.
So and then when you done that, then you pay the 20 million shillings.
Okay.
You return it, and then they now take you for nomination. And they have already designated the date and the place for nominations. Now, once you are nominated, then the Electoral Commission can give you guidelines.
As candidates.
As candidates.
Because now you are property of the Electoral Commission.
You are now candidates.
Yes. You're
subject to the electoral law.
Yes.
The electoral, then they can give you guidelines. Now, don't provide yourself personal security.
We will provide.
We will provide you personal security. They actually, but they don't even need to announce it's SFC.
So why did Kulaije
You
go
get,
ahead and
yes,
announce?
because under the new law of the army that establishes the army, the UPDF Act, the SFC was made a wing of the army.
Yes.
A service. They call it a service of the army, of the UPDF. It's like Air Force, it's like Marines, it's like Land Forces, whatever it is. So they do, the society may not even need to know from which service you are getting guards for the candidates. But so there must be a reason why now Felix Kulaije makes a statement this prematurely that candidates will be guarded by
SFC.
By SFC. Of all services. Because by the way, yes, I said
supposed to be police.
So he made that statement. And he insists no candidate will have private guards.
Okay.
So who is this candidate who has been with private guards? For us in Go Forward, we had our own arrangement.
Where are you?
Yes, I was deputizing David Procol in the security committee of Go Forward.
Okay.
But basically, I was in charge of the security.
The security of your candidate.
Yes, and I was supervising Aine, Charles Aine. Not Charles, Aine. You remember the?
Aine, the boyhood. Yes.
I was arrested when he got lost because I gave you a photo to force them to produce him.
To produce him, yes.
But anyhow, so we had our own arrangement.
Yes.
But our guards worked in tandem, worked with the police.
The security. The police, yes.
The police. We collaborated but the police was in charge of security, but we worked with, until I think it ran out of hand, I think in Ntungamo, where the Aine group beat those guys who were disturbing Amama Babas in Ntungamo. We beat them thoroughly. They were beaten thoroughly, and then the president came in, and anyhow, so you remember that story?
Yes.
The other one who has been training a militia is Kyagulanyi. And he calls that called Egari.
Why do you call it a militia? Because we've seen NRM in the cadres, the yellow t-shirts, also training within the way.
I'm addressing Kyagulanyi's militia. Okay. The NRA also has its own militia. They are there. I have had time to actually even condemn the Boda 2010.
Yes.
Of Chitata. Those militias, people who hear me talk against the militias of Kyagulanyi, they think I've never condemned
the ones of Boda 2010.
No, I did. I condemned the Boda 2010 and several other militias, including those militias in Teso that these guys were building. I know what can come out of militias, more especially when this political class loses command and control. Because once you built militias, they've gotten one another to know one another. Once you are no longer there, it doesn't mean they have disbanded.
The unit still remains.
Yes, so you don't know who is going to use them next, and you don't know how they're going to evolve into something else. So be sure the militias can be extremely very dangerous. So I always warn people against them, but one day they will see what militias. We need to pray hard. We need to pray hard. You don't see what comes out of militias, more especially when they pick arms, when they pick guns. In Sudan, the Janjaweeds, they have really massacred people. Ask Chapa, now he's in Zambia, he will tell you after the coup of 1985, when Rutwa overthrew Obote,
yes,
a car between Kampala and Muyenga would change hands more than 30 times.
One car?
Yes. You drive for 2 kilometers, they rob it from you. Another one drives, they rob it from him until the fuel is finished, they drop it. Because fuel is not available. You get. But you wouldn't drive from Muyenga to Kampala. Because literally every zone would be having its militias.
Yes.
Now here in Kampala, you have got very many gangs. Now once those gangs get a command, get a network, and they now know one another, they have political motives, they have objectives, they are organized, they are linked, they are coordinated, they have zones. Initially here they will be very disciplined, and that's why this militia of Kyagulanyi is so dangerous. Because you see now it's disciplined. You get, security confronts it, it resists security, but there is a word they use in security. Okay, call it restraint. It exercises maximum restraint. You know, you cannot exercise maximum restraint against provocation, in face of provocation, death, imprisonment, unless your command is good and unless you are extremely very conscious of your plan. In other words, you have got an objective and you want to reach there.
So you exercise a lot of restraint.
Yeah, so for you to do that, you must be disciplined. By discipline, I don't mean behavior. I mean in terms of organization. Why they say the army is a disciplined force is that it is organized. It moves like a body. It moves once like it's a force. It's a force. So
yes,
so Kyagulanyi built one. It's very elevated. Of course I can't talk about it discipline, but I know most elements there have acquired very good training, both in weapon handling, and you're talking about modern weapons.
It's interesting because people do mchaka.
No, this one goes beyond that. There are even people who went abroad under the cover of Cheyo, here in the Arab world. And in safe houses, they got very elevated training in management of explosives. I don't even think SFC can match them.
That's interesting.
Oh yes, it is. It's. I tried sometimes to follow those terminals. So you have people who are very skilled. You have people who are very skilled, and you have porous borders. You can't tell which nature of weapons has entered into the country. So once the command collapses, once the control collapses, and they segregate into smaller units under a different political arrangement, etc., it can be extremely very deadly for the country.
Okay.
Now, so the army is addressing, not even Kyagulanyi, is addressing those gangs. That once this one becomes a candidate, you won't have access. So you will designate civilians who will be your officers, one or two, and the rest will be handled by SFC. So that's Kuleije.
Okay.
Now Mao also makes a similar statement.
All right.
And Mao's statement has two at operational level. One is that you won't have processions. That's one. Two, there won't be a gari.
You won't have processions. There won't be a gari.
There won't be a gari. Mao is not addressing Kyagulanyi gang as a president of DP. No, he's addressing Kyagulanyi and the Kyagulanyi gangsters as in charge of elections, because the one who is in charge of the policy in relation to elections is Mao.
Yes, he is. That's it.
Yes, the one in charge of policy is the one who represents them in cabinet.
Yes.
And in parliament.
Yes. So he's an authority in what he is saying.
Yes, the judges are under Mao, the electoral commission is under Mao.
Yes.
By the way, even including the attorney general.
Is under Mao.
Is under Mao. So Mao is addressing the Kyagulanyi gangsters.
Yes.
In that respect. One, you will not do a gari. Two, you will not do a procession. So what will be done when they do? So then the third one is that the result, this will be the most quiet election. In other words, he says he has never, Uganda has never seen such a quiet election. It's going to be the most quiet.
That's the statement he has made, yes.
Yes. So he's saying, you will have a rally, organize a rally somewhere, your duty will be to drive to that rally without a procession.
Wow. So
possible? Now you have to combine the two. The SFC statement, the army statement, that it is the army now in charge of you.
Yes.
And two,
there is no rally.
And two, that you will drive there. In other words, the army will drive you there.
What election is that without a procession?
I've already told you it's a silly election. But you see, if the army is in charge of you and the SFC is in charge of you, therefore, it is in charge of the venue.
And some of the members in the venue.
Not in charge of the venue. You see,
because the one who is in charge, Electoral Commission designates the venue for the campaigns.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So if SFC takes charge of your security,
it is also in charge of the venue.
It is in charge of the venue.
Yes.
Yeah. So it must be, for security reasons, it must be sure of all who have attended. It means the army has a right to admit and not admit you into the rally.
Wow.
You get?
Wow.
If in the reading of the army is that you are a threat to the security of those who are attending the rally or the candidate, you will be stopped. You get? So in other words, it will be an arrangement between the organizers of the rally and the army. Because as I've told you, there is no procession.
There is no procession.
So in other words, you can't come from Kampala as a procession to attend the Rwanda in Rukunjiri.
It will be
So once the resident district commissioner of Rukunjiri says these are not from Rukunjiri, they shouldn't be at this Rwanda, then you will be rounded up. But you will be rounded up in such a manner that it will remain quiet.
Yes.
It's what he's saying. Now, then the last statement, which I think is the most critical, and which has made my day really, is the last one. That those who don't want to be quiet will be made quiet.
Why would that make your day, Charles? Why would that make your day?
Because I've been telling them, and they dismiss me and they abuse me around. Now let them hear.
And what does that mean? They will be made quiet.
He will be killed. Because the best place where you can be very quiet is in your grave. You won't be making this noise Wesley is making in Luzero what? No. So if you don't want a quiet erection,
yes,
and you want to make it noisy, you will be made quiet.
Those are quite sobering statements.
Yes. Now, why it's extremely very critical is the messenger.
All right.
I always want to analyze a messenger.
All right.
You see, I was telling some Muslim, I shouldn't say friend, but I know him, from on this floor here, down here. There is Salam TV and so we always meet outside there. I say the person who knew God well was Lot. If people wanted to do reference in the whole Bible, a person who knew the word of God well was Lot. Because Lot was told, run, don't look behind. And when his wife was screaming, having looked behind and was turning into salt, Lot couldn't look behind. You must be a man enough, very sufficient, not to look behind to check how your wife has become salt. You get? But Lot knew the weight of the instructions of God. Run to where you are going, don't look behind. And Lot never looked behind. No use of the rear view mirror, nothing. Not even side mirrors. So he told his family, please, no looking behind. You look behind, those are your consequences. And the wife did. Honey, my sweetheart, those words you use. What? Lot couldn't look behind. I don't know how she was turning into salt. Whether from the feet or from the hair, I don't know. But in the entire process, as she was turning into salt, Lot never looked behind. Because Lot knew the import of the commandment of God. Now, Lot must have understood the messenger who brought the word. The other messenger I have tried to analyze is John the Baptist. When he was, because he's told them from the wilderness, clear the ways, make the path straight.
Straight, yes.
For me, I handle you with water.
But the one
who is coming, it is water and it is also with fire. But when he was addressing the gathering, as he was going to introduce the subject, he said, you sons of vipers, you sons of snakes, who told you to come to listen to the word and survive destruction? Who told you? He didn't say you gentlemen, ladies, mwabaganda, because you people, you have to be praised. You have to be praised, you have to be elevated, you know? So he was a messenger, but with no jokes. He said, you children of snakes, who told you to come and you survive death?
All right.
You get?
Yes. How does that...
So now you have A person who appears weak.
A whole minister?
You know, if you are using it to Mao, you would think he's the usual Mao. It looks simple. But this statement is not easy. You get it? Now, when you have a statement that you will be made quiet,
yes,
in quotes, from Mr. Museveni, but through people who looks weak. What Jesus Christ says, nobody has lived greater than John. How many had lived before?
There were quite very many.
Yes. So he says, no, we are talking about Moses, you are talking about Elijah, you are talking about John. Nobody has lived greater than John. He said it. But this is the same person is saying, what do you see when the messengers came to ask? Are you the one to come, or we should expect another? So what do you see? Hey, the lame are walking, the blind are seeing. Yeah, you go and tell him. He didn't go to save John from being beheaded.
No, he did not. Yes.
He didn't. But he tells you after they had left to go and tell John, please, you want to be receiving reinforcements to rescue you from prison. He told them nobody has ever lived is greater than John. But the most least in the kingdom of God is greater than John. Because the most least in the kingdom of God is the most powerful. For the most powerful should be the most least, you should be a servant. Anyway, so Mao, you see who looks weak. Simple president of DP, the one you are using to, who may not even get 2% of your elections, of your election results. Tells you people don't know power is not negotiated in talk shows, in media, and what. It's in some rooms. That was part of his statement today. And I am seeing it there. But anyway, for the elections you will have.
But it will be.
You will have. And the following will take place. If you don't want to be quiet, you will be made quiet. And the one who has told him to say that is capable of making you quiet.
And you do nothing about it.
They will be quiet. They will be quiet either in the graves or they will be quiet when they are conducting elections. And the results are already in place, 80%.
Where does this then leave the citizens who are voting? Would you just follow? Should we?
You see, the conduct of elections that Mr. Mao and Mr. Museveni are talking about is about the candidates. It's not about the voter. They are now addressing you, the candidates, because you are the ones who are agitating, or you are the one who is mobilizing the citizens to agitate. For the voter, they have already told him or her, we want 80%.
The rest is for him to work it out.
For the voter, the numbers they have is 80%. That's why you see, this election is sweet. That's why you see they tell you that 2 million people signed forms. How many papers are in a room? Can you check with your producer very quickly? 200?
I think so. I'll check here.
Now, for this piece of paper where they sign, it is 10 signatures. A page only carries 10 signatures. 10 signatures. So, if you are talking about 2 million, if a room is 20...
A ream of paper contains 500 sheets of paper.
That's the bigger rim.
Yes, though the older rims contained 480. Now, this one says 250.
Yeah, it is 250. It's between 200 and...
Specialized paper. Specific types of paper, such as cardstock, might have rooms 250.
Yes. So let's do 200. So if it's 200 for a rim, it means 2 million divided by 200, you get 1,000. 2 million divided by 200. you get 100,000.
Yes.
Then divide by 10. So you have 10,000 rims. 10,000 rims. You can even Google there how many rims of 200 papers fill a 40-feet container.
100,000. If that's 10,000 times 10, you'll have 100,000.
Yeah, you should be having 10,000 rims.
Yes, I've already done that. Now times 10. You say times 10, right?
Which 10? It is 2 million.
Divide by 200, which gives you
divide
10,000.
by 10 to get the number of papers. So you'll have 200,000 papers.
Yes.
200,000 papers divided by 200 to get a rim. To get the number of rims.
1,000, I think.
So you have 10,000.
Yes.
10,000 rims, right?
Yeah, 10,000 rims.
Yes. So you can now check, I don't know that Google has it, how many rims fill a container.
All right. While I check.
So that can give you the number of containers of forms that were brought the Electoral Commission.
Okay.
Yes. Because the space of a container is small when it comes to rims. A store of 10,000 rims is enormous. You got it?
It says a 20-foot container can hold up to approximately 7,800 or 8,000 rims of standard A4 paper.
Yes.
Depending on whether pallets.
7,000. So talk about minimum 2 40-feet containers. So you should have had 2 trailers
taking your rims.
Yes. And you're not talking about because the trailer takes 20 feet. A 40-feet container is a real trailer. So you should have seen 2 trailers parked at the Electoral Commission. In other words, they are telling you couldn't have taken those rims of those signatures using pickups. If it is pickups, you should have had very many of them.
We saw when they were taking back President Museveni in the procession, it was 1 trailer.
One trailer of what?
It was 1 big trailer of paper, signatures. They returned those signatures, I think, last week.
Of where?
President Museveni's signature.
Did they take a trailer?
They took 1, yes. I was on the procession. I was right at Ginger Road when the procession passed.
They took 2 trailers.
I saw 1.
But you see, according to our calculation, it is 2 trailers.
Yes.
Yes, it is 2 trailers. So you can really see that the lie is around 50%.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm not very sure that it was a filled container. It was a filled container.
No, it was not. It was open.
I'm not suggesting.
There were some people in dancing, shouting.
In what?
Everything. In that. So it had a pool and there were people who were dancing on the sides.
What? We have talked about a container.
Yes. It was a trailer that had a part, the back part.
With a 40 feet?
Yes, it was a 20 feet, not a 40 feet.
You have data is 40 feet container. Yes. And 2 40-feet containers. It's not about a trailer with a 20 feet container and which is not even full. No,
it wasn't full. Yes.
Yes, it must be 2 full 20-feet containers to carry those papers.
For 1 candidate or for all?
To get 2 million votes. I'm talking about 2 million.
Yes,
if you're analyzing votes, 2 million signatures,
yes,
you need 2 40-feet containers.
All right.
To deliver that material. You get? But you should also have seen the Kanyama. The Kanyamas who offloaded.
You literally take a whole day of loading.
Oh yes, oh yes. To offload. You may not need a whole day to offload a 40-feet container. You can have some few Kanyamas who offload it. But you see, he's giving a message. I already have these signatures. By the way, to collect 2 million signatures, you should have filled them all over with forms. Because 2 million, 2 million for 2,000, for 200 signatures, to 200 what? 200 districts.
Yes.
For 200 districts to get 2 million, that's almost 100
per district.
Yeah.
Yes, that's 100 per district.
Yeah, 100 per district. Yeah, that's not small. No, not 100 people. To get 2 million of signatures, yeah, it is 2 million divided by 100. So you have, you remain with 4 zeros. Oh, yeah. You see, you don't have. I mean, you feel it in a district.
Yes.
Every district where you go, you will feel the collection of signatures.
Yes.
Did you feel it where you are? That there were people collecting those signatures? Because even if it is in the structures, you would have heard people talk about it.
Yes.
You get like the way you had about the elections. Because the elections
we
were...
felt it, we saw it,
yes.
we experienced it.
Yeah, we experienced it.
But for signatures, it was a quiet affair.
It was not quiet. So in other words, it's more or less like a felicity. But anyway, so it's giving you an impression, I am beginning with 2 million. People who support my candidature is 2 million. And yet he needs around 3.5 or 4 to have 60-70%. So it's a done deal. It's a decided election. But he's now handling the agitators. That you must be quiet as we rig you. If you are not quiet, you will be made quiet.
Oh, wow.
So I find this statement has concluded the election season.
It's done.
Yes, it's done.
You've been calling it a silly election. It is going to be evident.
Yes. So I am, because I'm really very happy for those who have gone in to legitimize it. So you must go there and remain mute.
Oh, that's the opposition.
She must be mute. Mute kabisa. And if you don't, then you'll be made mute.
Then one wonders why. Why go through all of this? I know you've talked about being legitimizing the election. Then why would one spend so much? Because we're going to spend a lot of money for this.
You know, yes, you see, a guerrilla army cannot seize the state and hand it over to force outside that guerrilla through an election. It's a lie.
It's an impossibility.
No, this is a lie. And unfortunately, it's an armed lie. I am not saying what Mr. Museveni is doing is wrong, you know.
What do you mean what is
I'm only contesting the lie.
What do you mean what
to say that there is a possibility that you can come and campaign and a few drunkards sing oye, and then a guerrilla organization hands over power to you when you are not part of that organization. It's impossible. That there cannot be an alternative arrangement.
Yes.
It never happens with guerrillas. It never happens with state armies.
All the guerrillas that have happened, none has handed over peace.
Yeah, of course, we wouldn't have had states.
Yes.
Initially, there were states that we got after independence. Like Tanzania, these after independence. There are other states that, so Tanzania disbanded the army, Chama cha Mapinduzi disbanded the army and formed the new army, the TPDF. Now we have a CCM. CCM now has challenges with the population and it has outlawed opposition.
Yes.
Yes, Chadema will not participate in elections.
All right, Chadema will not participate in the elections. We've seen arrests of opposition.
Yes, it will not participate
in jail. Yes, we've seen.
Chadema will not participate in the elections. But as I've told you, Chama cha Mapinduzi picked someone who was extremely very weak. Like Mao, this lady. But when you see her, you are seeing an army.
Right behind her.
Yes. Yes. Then Kenya, they've done the transition from Kenyatta to Moi, and Moi to Uhuru, but Ruto was also their child. So now the political, the intelligence is maneuvering to see how best it moves. It's contained, and you have Odinga playing a big role
in managing the.
Yes, because it's still that it was because the state was formed by the two families of Odinga and Kenyatta.
Quite interesting.
Yes, so you see how the transition is managed.
Yes.
Here, it was.
Can we put a pause right there, and we do come back right after these messages as we do continue on our conversations. And if you'd like to be a part, in case you'd like to ask a question, you can go to our socials. That is at Spirit TV UG, and you can ask, you can post, you can pose your question there. And later on, we'll be able to open up our phone lines for you to be as part of the conversation. Otherwise, this is The Truth, Lies and Politics on Spirit TV UG. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Truth, the lies, and politics. Informative, educative, and analytical. Getting to the real issues that affect an ordinary individual in areas of leadership, governance, social, and economy. The truth, the lies, and politics